All right, let's go. Hi, I'm live.
Hello, everyone. How
What's
are
going
you?
on, folks?
Welcome.
Congratulations on staying with us and making it this far. We have reached the season 1 finale. This isn't the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's been a special journey. We've had a lot of fun doing it. We have lots of fun planned for season 2 and for some other fiction and stuff in the Wellport world. So keep an eye out. What's going to happen is tonight we're going to finish out our 3-part season finale story. We have something of an epilogue holiday episode run by our very own Will, who could not be with us tonight as he is busy being an awesome family member and celebrating somebody's very special birthday party. So we miss you, Will, but you have as good an excuse as probably possibly exists. And we hope you're having fun with your family. Right on. So
I also
after
just
that,
have the very powerful urge to call next week Mike Smith.
yes,
Just saying.
Mike Smith. O'Connorka.
Yes.
No, it's good, man. And then after that, we're breaking until February for season 2 planning, but also not gonna lie, like 2-3 weeks of just genuine break. We need it. We've been working hard. I've been working hard, and we're gonna plan a baller season 2 for you guys. Some really cool story stuff on deck that you will see or get a taste of tonight. Yes, we're finally going to finish season 1, and we have decided it is going to be season 1. We decided about halfway through the year that we really like doing this, and we really like these characters, and we're gonna run with it a little bit longer.
Excuse you. We decided last February that we were going to run with this. What are you talking about?
We went through a couple of sessions before it was official. It's cool.
We decided that we're all cool and neat and like gaming with each other.
When I wrote this story, I wrote it as a possible standalone story with a beginning, middle, and end, and it was so delightful over the last month to work on this episode in particular, because this is the bridge to what comes next, and I am thrilled and very much ready to go.
We're so excited that nobody actually died, even though we tried very hard.
That was on the table. There weren't a lot of endings that involved Thomas coming back, so it was cool. I could have,
but you knew we were gonna fight for it,
of course. And I could have played Aiden next season, but instead he's going to stay where he belongs as a character in my fiction novels. So,
well, I am for sure going to talk to Batman. His brother is a weird space god now.
Yeah,
we gotta give him the updates.
Who knows? That's something that you guys are probably pretty interested in figuring out right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in finding out.
Without further ado, I'm not going to even really recap it. It's pretty epic. Go back and watch how our heroes saved the world and managed to batter their way through obstacles and occasionally stumble backwards into creative solutions to really complicated problems. As they do. That's my bad for having a 3-part finale. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for that confusion. We have ended up back in the world as it is, wound back like a clock to the way it used to be, and everybody was feeling good. Some of the things that were broken about it were put to right. Pays to negotiate aggressively with a unipowerful and borderline omnipotent god, but something is evidently not right, because now in a aggressively expanded but completely ethical coffee business, compliant with all laws, both national and international.
Baba
For the record, I'm totally in favor of crimes. I just figured she'd be happier if her relatives weren't killing people.
They only traffic in fair trade brew, and they only deal in cups of joy. We've encountered a familiar voice, not in a familiar face. Our heroes have been flagged over to a table in sort of an isolated corner where they can talk by a complete nondescript balding middle-aged man in glasses who speaks with Jason's voice and has his unique steel gunmetal eyes. And that's where we begin our session today.
So are you like Murder Jason or like Dragon Jason?
The latter, ma'am.
Holy shit. All right. Okay.
I was pulled from the dragon, and then everything went haywire. I found myself adrift. The world started changing, and I found myself a dead body who could not be disappeared in time. I took residence in the body. The world changed around me, and now I'm here, and I have been waiting for you lot for several hours. I'm very confused.
I do imagine that other Jason probably wouldn't go to the trouble of arranging a ruse, so I'm inclined to believe you.
Yeah, well, ruse or no ruse, and he just gestures. This guy couldn't use magic, so until I can retrain this form to access even a portion of my former knowledge and turn it practical, the best ruse I could pull on you would be a hot foot, a whoopee cushion, or some other variety of prank.
Well, even being that you are the better Jason, I'm not going to lie, I feel slightly more at ease with the world knowing that you're just a guy.
Well, believe it or not, I do as well. Clearly, bridging the gap between my theories and actual practice did damage to my brain such that the world itself suffered on high. I am going to take more time, readdress everything that I've worked on, and see if I can't come to a more sane perspective for my research.
You know what really does help accelerate one's growth? Taking an L, as the kids call it.
I give you guys a lot of credit, and I would not have thought it within your ability to do what you did. Be that as it may, we have to talk.
Are you going to need a new body?
I'm going to wait and see if this one starts decomposing and deal with that problem then. But things feel warm-ish. I appear to have all the indicia of living homeostasis. I have a pulse. I breathe. My body temperature is close to the 98-degree range.
Did that guy have a family or anything?
I don't know. He was very dead.
All right. Natural causes or because of the whole universe ending thing?
I don't know. If I had to judge by the weird arrhythmia in my chest, it was a heart attack of some variety, so maybe something scared him. I don't know.
All right. Well, it was a vacant lot.
If you so much as twitch in the wrong direction, so help me, we will startle you into the next world.
I don't
guess
think
that's
the
what
health
we're
of
doing.
my heart is dispositive on my existence, but you're welcome to try. We can run an experiment out of it. I'm actually curious how conceptual possession works long term. I will be writing a paper.
Sure
I
you
probably
will be.
won't read it, but I would put it on a shelf.
Yes, Rose, I'm sorry.
Oh, nope, you're good. I just said I'm sure you will write a paper on it. What exactly do you need from us?
Just answer to a very simple question. What did you do?
Well, not to make you RP with yourself, but I'm gonna point at Tom and be like, well, we got him back for starters. And we talked to the papa him. And
What did you change? What did you change? It's different. It's all different.
Oi, the coffee shop's real nice now.
That is
Yeah, we
not
didn't
all.
make the changes. We
Edith.
left it pretty the same.
Mostly, I think that the king is doing more of a job to look out for us now.
Well, he left a piece of himself behind. That's one
Mhm.
thing. Congrats on convincing a god to leave a sentinel on Earth. I trust that you were able to install safeguards, negotiate limits to his power, his role here.
Oh,
No.
yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
And you only had him change the coffee shop in society's collective trauma.
My God, leg.
Mike did get a leg. I feel like he might have.
Substantive changes to timelines, such as the losing of a limb.
No, we just asked him to heal Mike's leg. There was a difference.
We didn't ask him. He just voluntarily did it.
Yeah, he did that by himself. We didn't even do that.
And you just thought to accept it all willy-nilly because it was good and fun?
Okay, well,
No,
we
okay.
argued against accepting it, and
Yeah, there was a lot of argument, but it
Well,
ended
just
with
gonna
us getting Thomas and the world being better.
The
Why
world
am I
is
listening
better,
when you do the hand thing? I'm compelled.
but it's going to be temporary.
why?
The first thing I did was got in touch with my network, who evidently Jason Prime had not spoken to in a very long time.
Oh, so not the ones that we killed.
I would have had a hard time communing with the ones that you killed.
Well, I just
That's
assumed
impossible,
Jason
but
didn't
why?
really have a lot in it.
Also, we don't know what you can do these days.
Theoretically possible. Once they've crossed over, it's a lot harder to bring them back. Anyway, everything is different. Everything, the status quo, the way it was, it's shifted in such an outrageous degree so fast that the magical community is in an uproar.
They
What's-
can all tell.
The horizon is as thin as it's ever been. There are scars patchworked across the very fabric of reality. Scars that once must have been open with no guarantee that the things that got through got back. Even more, there's stirrings, ancient stirrings. The ley lines that crisscross the world are as jazzed as they have ever been, as
Okay.
saturated with power as they've ever been.
I feel like we just literally saved the world, and you're complaining that we didn't do it enough?
I'm not complaining, I'm notifying.
Okay.
You have a godling in your number. You have a broken reality that has been mended ad hoc with changes to its fabric and its temporal reality made unspecified, just at the whim of a virtually omnipotent intelligence that decided to give you a bunch of favors in order to create a reality in which his little godling offspring self could function optimally. You have a thin barrier between universes, as thin as it's ever been, in fact, thinner than it should be. That is going to rewrite the calculus of magic as we know it. You have ley lines that are no longer dormant. They have been awakened. They are surging with power, crisscrossing the world. That means things that have been hibernating will wake up. That means concepts that have been long dead will become valid again. That means entire magical schools are going to be revived overnight.
So
Why
what
don't
you're
you
saying
fix
is reality had a few too many last night, and it's going to be in for a bit of a hangover.
I mean, yes, although sort of less hangover and more recovering from a complete psychic break, reconstructing itself into a whole new version of itself. Possibly doesn't even remember its name, possibly doesn't even remember its spouse, doesn't remember its way home, doesn't remember what it does for a living, etc. A hell of a bender, one might say, to pursue your metaphor to the end.
There's a chance that it puts itself back together better than ever, though. You know, bright side.
Yeah, although there's going to be some pretty significant forces working against that, Mr. Flynn.
Can you
Monsters
tell
don't-
me where they are and if I might eat them?
You
Everywhere?
can't entropy, Rory.
I ain't tried yet.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Summoners of an extremely high degree of craft are detecting extra universal monsters. The ley lines themselves, pulsing with this kind of power, they have not been this active theoretically since the time of gods and immortals, when this world was a much more primordial place, and your kind, not so much yours, Mr. Flynn, but your kind, Edith, Rose, Michael, were lower on the food chain. it's a different world and it's a lot more dangerous one if the readings are at all accurate. I'm trying to get perspective because suddenly I become the eminent expert on what is beyond. I'm in a body that's not mine and I cannot use magic. So I'm trying to adapt to my new researcher role and try to give my fellows some guidance.
All right. Well, okay, so we have this information. And it is putting, not to be cruel to you or anything, a real damper on what was a hell of a win on our part. But in any case, what would your suggestion be? Do you have a step one if we're going to be looking into this after coffee and I don't know, maybe dinner?
The shower
Well,
is so cool.
you have to. You're the only ones who know. And you're the only ones with perspective on what occurred. Other than me, but I can't act. You need to put this to right as much as it can. You need to hunt down these creatures from other universes, from beyond different planes. You need to put them back where they came from. You don't kill them altogether. Otherwise, they'll mature into your reality and become, well, a problem. You need to figure out how to rein in the growth and maturation of the boy, who is now a godling with absolutely zero shackles on his powers and is no longer just some undefined piece, but instead a prototype, a child, a lesser clone. He'll mature. He'll grow. He'll become something unto himself.
Do you hear that, Tom? You're just a wee lad again.
No, I think he's right.
In fairness, Tom was always kind of a weird kid.
Tom's wonderful, and he will figure this out.
I think he's right. I don't have the memory issues I had before. I don't have the stuttering personalities that I have before. I'm distinct. I've never been distinct. That's new.
Well, I'm bloody happy for you, whatever complications it may bring along.
But you're limited by loving Rose, right?
That's not a limit, but to the extent that it is, sure.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's a kind of limit because you can't just go all nuclear on
Right.
stuff.
It's a good kind of check.
As long as he knows how to go nuclear versus not going nuclear.
Tom will figure it out. He's super smart.
Tom is not super smart.
Yes, he is.
Hi!
He's not.
He's a smart
feel like
lad.
Tom is averagely smart.
In all fairness,
Zero
Edith
straight
is kind of correct. I'm a bit of a dumbass.
No, we're not going into this. You're going to figure it out because we're here to help you. And we're super smart too. And we'll figure it out.
I'm bloody brilliant.
Yes, sure. We'll do that. That's right, Mr. Wizard Man. We'll all figure it out.
We're going to figure
You
it
don't
out.
need any
It'll
of
be
your
okay.
fancy knowledge and experience and arcane theory and your network of the most prestigious practitioners worldwide. We need none of that.
I know that was Tom, but also if that was Jason doing a voice mocking us, that would have been really funny.
No, Jason mocking, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a big dumb oaf, big dumb oaf who has a god in him. Yeah, I'm gonna do things. Point being, your work can't be complete. It can't be. It's a brave new world out there.
I mean, in fairness, the god said that we couldn't do this. He sent us back to be his crusaders for normalcy, and
it's a good thing he so appointed you, because what you're facing is a full-on paranormal awakening. Do you understand? Not just an eerie reality where that which goes bump in the night does it from under the bed, but which does it from everywhere. And things that we haven't seen walk this earth for thousands of years, if ever at all, they'll come back. And things that are still here that had lost the power to function, that didn't have the ambient magic to pull from, they'll start to wake up.
There are some potential advantages to that.
You're speaking of the dragons, of course.
They'd crossed my mind.
isn't that partly your fault? Aren't dragons supposed to protect things? Can't we just wake them up and have the dragons eat all the bad stuff?
What is your understanding of what protection is, Edith? Is it we lost the L. Hopefully she comes back.
She's gonna
Elle's
starting her.
trying to pop in and out
Cool.
to get the stream caught up. I think she's having some connection issues.
Yeah, right on. So, what we back in the day, protection.
Dylan,
What?
get in the camera.
Tech issues.
Talking like this.
changed on me. The
Telling
screen
your
is compressed.
story and just doing it like this. No one can see your beautiful face.
See, I have a problem where that will never happen to me because I'm always staring directly at my face whenever we're streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it
Look at
works.
my own eyes so hard.
It works. It works. All right. Continue.
Okay, sorry, Jason. You
Yeah,
were
no
being
worries.
serious.
A protector was much more paternal back in the day. I think you might consider the dragons in your parlance to be something like superheroes. That is not the case. Think of them more as wrathful lords who solve problems by burning them. And
I did that one.
I mean, I was thinking of them as like hungry children, and we could just, point them at the thing and be like, lunch.
no,
Is that what you think of me?
Well, you, no.
No, he's young. The dragons that would be waking up now are, I would imagine, all in maturity. It's been too long. It's been centuries. They also, they live rich inner lives. Let me put it that way. Got to nail that.
Right. Well, I'm going to meet them regardless.
No, I think you have to. They're going to come back one way or another, and you exist as a unique entity heretofore in history. You can be a go-between people and dragons, so they don't just get ashed. And you, unfortunately, your kind has a lot more things to burn now.
Right, fair enough.
There's
All right.
There are billions of you. I have no idea how a dragon might react to that, but they viewed you guys as more sheep, according to myth anyway, than actual smaller beings who were sentient and whose opinions on the direction of their species mattered.
All right, well, that's
Thing
not
is-
like, too far off from what we ma told me, but maybe we can, I don't know, bring him around. Like, I don't think we have to stress on it too much right now, right? There's a million other things to do as well, from what you're saying.
Another prominent reality that you guys need to prepare for. You see, the dragons, they were a deterrent. When they were awake and at the peak of their power, it was largely their influence that saw this world turn to a state that mankind could eventually take primacy. Their fire can burn immortal things. But
So we can have them eat the baddies.
you don't
I'm just saying.
have access to them yet, and what instead you have is a godling, a very young, very powerful, very ignorant godling. See, the effect he is going to have as a bell ringing across the universe is not going to be a deterrent. He's going to be a challenge.
Can we just have Thomas turn off his godness?
It's only going to grow stronger. And
Can we
as
do
it
something like that?
does, there is a whole class of beings out there that is going to come looking to either challenge his strength or take it from him.
All right. I think that the only sensible thing to do is, as challenges arise, we just need to find out the most sensible ones among them, sit down and have a talk. Introduce everybody around. I was pretty intent on harming most people until relatively quite recently, in fact.
When you were
We
in
just need time.
and forcibly trapped, and I was really nice to you for months.
For some reason, yes.
Hmm.
So
We
we need
can-
to find we need to find your leprechaun dude. Get some more coins.
What? No, that's not. What are you
Questing
implying?
to enslave the entire draconic race.
No, like temporary coins, like training coins, like you're in the coin until you know not to eat people coins.
So in
Don't know how I
a
feel
draconic
about a time out coin.
incarceration movement?
You both spoke at the same time, and I don't understand it.
A draconic incarceration movement?
What?
Well,
No,
those-
God, no. It's like training wheels, is what she's trying to say.
I have some thoughts on this.
Yeah,
that
but what
I
if,
am going to hold back on for the moment.
what if they don't consent? They're not gonna want to.
Well, if it's that or they eat an entire continent,
Well, maybe there's something in between those options.
You're going to need resources then.
mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not using them. One of you have a phone or something to write down?
Always.
I'm pretty sure I smashed mine. Unless I didn't now, I checked my pocket.
It's
The
totally
screen
safe.
is probably all cracked to hell, but it works.
Ah.
you have like a Bostonian cell phone.
Cool.
It's like I don't know that I can actually distinguish anything on this, but it does technically work.
For Christmas, I'm
no,
getting Rory like a Nokia brick so he can just throw it around all he wants.
yes, old school.
It's
You
got a
give me-
cute little round dragon with big eyes on it on the back part here. I found it. It was a sticker. Oh, I thought it was cute.
He gives you some coordinates to write down, like latitude, longitude coordinates.
And what do we find there?
There you'll find a tree, the roots which make a hollow, beneath which I have left a key. A key to this address. It gives you an address. I'm not using it.
Could we just call a locksmith?
No, use the key. Open it.
All right.
You have the key. None of my enchantments will erase you, I have to imagine. No, yes. If you have the key, none of my enchantments will erase you.
Jason, you had the Bloody Island, which I know was not originally yours, but you did have it.
Yeah.
And then you had the layer under the library. How many layers did you have? You had layers of layers.
There's the one in Spain. There's the one in Paris. And there was the one in Russia.
Can we
There's
just
one
have
in
all of
Spain,
your
but that
layers?
got seized.
Can we have all of them?
Why do we want
No, on account of their assets, and I must begin the long and tortuous measures required to rebuild my finances from a different body.
I'm not looking a gift layer in the mouth anyway.
I'm facing imminent insolvency here. I need to make do with most of my property in my possession, thanks. But you can have the Wellport one.
Okay.
All right. We
It
go
comes
to the
equipped
tree.
with-
We open it up.
Library, laboratory, quite significant garage space. I'm sure Mr. Connor can repurpose to replace the arsenal lost. Summoning circles. Besides, I mean, to say which, it's a very nice home, top dollar. Recently had the kitchen redone. Recently, years ago now. Oh my goodness, this is going to take some getting used to.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
There's an espresso machine.
I don't think we'll need that. Sort of like get a little bit of a goofy smile looking at that.
Yeah. Seeing as you will need resources and a safe place to practice, develop your magical skills, and grow your magical knowledge if you're going to preside as protectors over the new status quo, you can make more use of it than I can. Also, I feel kind of guilty about what a future version of my personality did to you, and this is my effort to make things at least a little bit more correct than they were.
Well, considering the fact that he murdered us twice, well, multiple times, I feel like this is on the way to being fair.
That'll
I
happen.
think it's neat.
Sure.
Thank you.
That'll happen with wizards. They'll kill you, bring you back, kill you again. Just kind of a thing we do.
I've been really good on the first end, the latter.
Anyway,
Okay.
I wanted
Alright.
to make sure I ran into you to let you know that, hey, this bright, beautiful, shining future you developed for yourself is made of patchworks and poorly done sutures, and the whole mess load of problems are rapidly barreling down that threaten to upend this reality again as we know it. But now that you are on notice and now that you have a place to work, I am getting the hell out of here. I've had enough of this place.
All right. We might say hi to Aiden at some point.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You sure?
They hate each other, Rory.
I know, but this is like the Lastic one. You know? We'd just like it if everybody was cool.
You know, he and I have tried to kill each other one too many times. I'm going to let that just cool off for a decade or 3.
All right, then. Fair enough.
He's a good kid. I have perspective on that now. I didn't before. I have perspective on a lot of things I didn't have before.
Yeah, I was gonna say your myopic focus on becoming a literal god of the universe was,
Oh, don't get me wrong. I am extremely gratified and unbelievably flattered to see how powerful I became, and that pretty much every theory that got me called crazy ended up bearing fruit. What gives me pause is what that work did to my own mind.
Question.
Wasn't worth my soul. Yes.
Do they all know? Like, all of the people who are like, oh no, my goodness, the universe is all Swiss cheese now. Do they know it was you?
I would imagine the ones capable of putting 2 to 2 together and having a deductive thought would.
I'm just curious to see how you're going to go about navigating your life from now on. Do
I'm
you
gonna
drop a
look-
line sometime?
I'm going to look like this and stay alive however I know how, but that involves not staying here.
Fair enough.
But again, I caution you, this is as if the rules of physics have changed overnight. 2 plus 2 suddenly equals 3 for some of these people. So, whereas once you might have been used to the majority of my kind, mage kind, being an orderly people with a great deal of awareness on the goings on and what to do about them, I expect that going forward you will encounter a great deal more chaos and a whole messload of practitioners whose baser instincts, like mine used to be, suddenly find their darkest ambitions to be possible.
cool.
There were theoretical limits on what magic could accomplish before, unless you had, well, a genius like mine. As the barrier of reality has grown thinner and as sources of magical power crisscrossing the very earth itself grow bigger, you're going to find a whole lot more black magicians willing to try things that they will find to be a great deal less merely plausible than before.
Cool. Cool.
And if you thought I was dangerous, well, at least my brain functioned.
All right. Well, I guess we should go check it out before we settle into the new planet, the key place.
Yes, indeed. One moment. I'm trying to remember. Is that the dead drop that I had protected with the disintegration ward?
Oh my freaking god! You're coming with us.
Or was that the other one?
You're coming with us.
No. I can think through. It's just there's a very large mental catalog of things I own and have protected in various ways. No, this one is safe. This one, I do believe I put some redirection present, possibly a tickle charm or 2, but those would have degraded over time. You should find no pushback.
I can always check, Edith.
Yeah. I recommend, like, when you find the opening, like, maybe throw a rock at it first, just to see, just as an experiment.
Or we could just take you with us and have you open it.
I'm not going. I have a flight to catch that I paid for in cash to a gentleman named Clem who flies a double prop. He's taking me over the border, upon which I will look to travel further south, get on a boat by similar nondescript means, and disappear.
Clem wasn't. Was Clem someone we knew?
No.
Okay. There was a part of me that thought it was the dragon guy, but no.
No. He will come back.
All right, cool. I figured he
Yeah,
would.
quite, yeah.
He feels relevant to season 2.
Yeah, quite indeed.
Good. I like that guy.
Yes, he was.
All right. Rory will get up from his chair and be like, all right, one more quick pit stop before we settled in. And and Jason, I promised a bunch of times to kill you before, so I will make good on that if you do too much fuckery.
Take your shot. Now would be
I sure would. And then I'll just kind of like happily walk out the door after just sort of like putting down an IOU note for Nat.
We have money, and I like get my wallet out and hand Nat a card.
Unless you have any pressing questions, I best proceed with my exfiltration.
I really, really want to punch you, but I feel like it would be mean to this nice man that you're wearing. So, good luck.
Good luck to you as well. And I hope that the changes that you are all going through remain on sort of the painless end of the spectrum.
Okay, well, that's empty, but sure. Thanks.
He just leaves and doesn't look back. It's like he felt duty bound to deliver some news, and you can almost see like the weight lifted off his shoulders, as in, I had to do that. It was a good idea to do that. Buh. And now he's done. And he just washes his hands with you and leaves.
Well, now we've got 2 layers and a haunted house.
Well, our previous haven was kind of destroyed, so I have no idea the degree to which insurance can repair that. But
I mean, it's the Catholic Church. They've got infinite insurance, right?
I
It's literally part of their whole thing.
feel like assuming that is probably a bit broad, but they would also need time to repair it and stuff. As I recall, my last memory of that place is like a bomb went off in it. So
Did a bomb go? I don't think a bomb went up in it.
bombs, much as a massive vortex of magical energies, because a whole bunch of shards of a god were fighting each other. It was bad for it. I remember. The couch was okay.
The couch was okay.
That was literally all it was, but the couch was okay.
Okay, so we have to go to directions.
It's a big old oak tree right in the middle of campus. You all know it very, very well. It's a regular sort of shaded spot for students to study, and it's an incredibly lazy hiding place.
I threw a rock at it.
Thud.
I want to do my real quick magic, like, ping, anything?
Yeah, I won't even make you roll weird. There's like residue of pattern magic and stuff here, but anything would have worn off.
Cool. Did he say the place in the tree to look for?
Yep, a hollow near the root system. So if you just make a circle around, you eventually find what is like a pretty distinct sort of opening, which if you reach into, you
Yoink.
find a key.
I found a key.
Cool. Let's go check out this
really
house.
see.
Do you think it's sort of a house? I was sort of picturing like. But did you ever watch the movie The Bride, the Bride Princess?
Princess Bride?
Like with the torture room.
Of course I watched it. It's a love story.
It was really nice. I liked it, especially the large man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would definitely pictures. It makes sense.
But like with more sparkles because it's all magic.
Right.
To
Do
the
we
thing.
feel like Jason's magic sparkles?
I don't know. Probably some of it did. Well, I'm just saying sparkles are sort of like a thing that comes with the territory. I am biased. A lot of my magic has to do with fire.
It makes sense.
To the lair.
Yeah. So you end up driving very quickly to sort of like the outskirts of town, the rich outskirts of town. There is a very, very famous and moneyed golf course kind of at the city limits that is rimmed by a lot of different properties that sort of ascend into the foothills of the surrounding wilderness. The higher you climb, the more expensive the homes get, and eventually you arrive where you are going, to a very remote but extremely well apportioned mansion done in a castle theme, on a very, very large piece of land, nearly a whole acre as to itself. A courtyard out in front of it, and the home itself, you would have to estimate it's at least 15,000 square feet.
Well, this is a
Edith.
lot.
Edith, it looks like bloody home, it does.
Do you have any idea how much this is going to cost us in taxes?
I don't know. We could just sort of pretend we don't live here.
He didn't like deed it over to us. He just gave us a key and permission. So it's not actually like officially legally tied to us in any way, is it?
Oh my god, it'd be so funny if we were making Jason pay, like, everything for it, and we just got to go around and trash the place.
I mean, we are theoretically house sitting on a semi-permanent basis.
This is bloody great. I love it. I'm all about it. Is there like a tower anywhere in it?
Oh yeah.
Edith, I know it takes a lot of effort on your part for me to look like me and everything, but if I could be the dragon like in the tower for like a while, that'd be great. We don't have to do it right now. It's fine.
Go
Just
be
like
the
some-
dragon, Rory.
All right. So here you have found. What do you want to look at? Do you want to explore? Do you want to?
I want to check the fridge.
Well, we got to go inside first.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to go inside and look for a kitchen first.
There is a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It is what one might say utterly ostentatious. It's completely redone with black limestone, hand-carved wood cabinets. There is a heavy wooden door that opens into a walk-in refrigerator and one next to it that opens into a walk-in freezer. He's got what you would imagine would be just your standard size for a refrigerator as a wine fridge that is stocked top to bottom with alcohol, but it doesn't really have anything else. It would be perishable. So
I was going to say, is there like food? I'm looking around for a butler.
Nope.
Like,
This place is stunning.
There's just an old butler with cobwebs on him, like, oh, it's been so long, Master Jason.
So there's no butler, but if you keep
bar.
exploring, and if you go up and check the tower is a fully appointed orrery. It looks like it would be a setup for a pretty wicked hobby astronomist, but the tools aren't quite the same. It's not just telescopes and astrolabes. There are various crystal lenses, certain types of ancient tools that Rory, you would know, don't just chart the passing of the stars, but sort of chart to the extent it can the planes and the multiverse itself.
I would like to claim this one.
seeing as you are the only person with any sort of affinity for this, go for it.
For sure.
The upstairs, other than the tower, is pretty much all just living space. It's living rooms, dens, bedrooms. He's not one for decorations, so the furniture is actually pretty sparse. It's high end, but it's Spartan. Beds, places to put clothes, desk.
Good thing.
There.
It's a good thing we've got the van again, because I'm probably going to pack up my couch from the apartment and bring it over. I like that couch.
Okay, but we can't just leave Kat. We can't just live here.
Well, no, Wait, hold on. What if we brought Kat here? Could she do that? Could
If
she
you
like
wanted to.
could she like possess the couch and then we bring the couch?
If you want her dead bones in the couch,
Well, I don't know. Does she need her bones still?
yeah. She
Well,
needs
all right.
and we'll have to figure out how to untie her from the land.
I don't know. Well, we can talk to her and see if she wants to.
See if she wants to first.
This would be a step up.
It would be a step up for all of us.
It's fancy. Look, I'm down to move here. Trust me, but we can't leave Kat. She's
Oi.
gonna-
But ain't you ever had like, I don't know, a little bit of a princess like fantasy or something?
Obviously I have, Rory. Obviously.
Well, all right, Edith. I'm sure that in your fantasies you were picturing yourself stabbing someone like me.
No, actually, I was picturing myself like having a picnic at the zoo.
Oh my god! How
like
did
how
I get picked
remote-
up by the most boring person who ever lived?
I like how remote it is. Seems like if anything weird were to happen with me, or if something were to take a shot at me, it would be less likely that people would be hurt here than in a neighborhood. I felt awful about how that ended with where you guys live, having to go toe to toe with another version of me on the street with all them in harm's way. It was awful.
Aye. Harder to repair though.
Well, we can go downstairs.
Oi, we should check the whole place out.
The further you descend, you realize that the floor plan of the property is sitting over what is basically a custom like bowl of a basement. It is a round room and it is tall. The floor to ceiling, the basement in this sort of egg shaped open space is about 30 feet ceiling to roof, and the walls are, it's a library. You need ladders screwed into the mobile ladders, rolling ladders screwed into the very shelves themselves in order to access it all. There are 2 floors just to walk around and see all of his books, and it all sort of surrounds a central research space. Tables, chairs, there's a couple of couches. They're not terribly comfortable, but they're there. And you can tell this is the place that was lived in. These tables are just saturated and buried with paper and books. There are crushed Coke cans and various bags of potato chips and peanuts just strewn everywhere. This is the only part of the place that looks lived in, but no one's been here in a very long time. Very dusty.
Wow. It's a hell of a thing. I'm sure that most of these books here are worth digging through as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're all going to need to squeeze like a PhD level of knowledge into very short amount of time if we want to survive again.
And you thought you were done studying, eh?
No.
No.
But Rose, you're finishing college.
Of course I'm finishing college.
Okay.
I have a ton to write about now. I could write a whole young adult novel series about what we've done and nobody would ever think it was true.
Like these? Thomas points his thumb back at a shelf. And if you
Oh
go,
my god, did he like them?
it's all hardcover fiction of various
Oh my
ages from children on up. I've actually
Rose-
been
Rose faint. She's so in love.
I've been poking around. Less of these texts are, well, what you would imagine they would be than you think. Like that shelf is all history this century, and that shelf is all medieval, and that shelf is all Roman. But then over here, you've got different fiction organized by genres. There are some rare texts over in that back corner of a magical nature, but this appears to just be a repository of knowledge. And built the way it's built, underground, designed to survive even if the house above got completely leveled. It was like he made a little time capsule.
I'm gonna actually, for the first time since like the first session, stop hauling his books we stole from like the first session and put them out on like a table and set my freaking bag down. Be like, well, all right. Seems like these have actually got a home again.
Would you like me to refile those?
I found the butler.
Where did that sound come from?
A blinking, floating glass orb descends from the ceiling, and you can see now that what looked to be a chandelier was instead like a weird sort of nest, and that what you thought were light bulbs are in fact not, as one of them detaches and sort of floats down to you.
Magic butler.
Oh my god, who are you?
Is this a pixie? Do we have to take care of pixies? Aren't they dangerous?
No,
They're probably
pixies aren't dangerous.
What?
Yes, I
They're
think
like
they are.
brownies. They're fine.
What abhorrent fool would unleash pixie kind in a den of knowledge and sacred education is this?
Jason.
Who are you?
I am the preserver. I am the warder. I am the librarian. I believe he called me Richard.
Oh, all right. Well, Dick, if you wouldn't mind, like, if you did refoil these, could you find them for me again pretty easy?
I possess a immediate and complex, complete recall of every volume in this place, as well as a summation and reference head note of every theory and area of research my master undertook.
You're like Google for magic.
So question,
Incredible.
if we didn't want to read all the books, could we put you in a bottle and take you with us?
I cannot leave. Unfortunately, my magic is bound to this place.
Could we
I
unbind?
was his greatest creation, a magical research assistant beyond compare. And then he realized he could just psychically clone himself, and I was obsolete.
Oh no, I don't think you're obsolete at all,
You're
Dick.
incredible. We cannot wait to be friends.
Do you do hugs, Richard?
Didn't need old Richard anymore.
No, come here now.
Another version of himself.
Come on, float down. Come on, float down. Let's bring it in.
All the orbs come down,
Oh no.
back together, and create like a vaguely humanoid creature. I cannot, unfortunately, hug as I am made of glass, but I appreciate the gesture of affection.
I'm just gonna do pets.
You are by far the most magical thing that we have seen in a little while, and you are adorable, and we will take very good care of you, I promise.
You have the key. Are you the new stewards of this place?
We're stewarding.
I did not expect him to give this place up so soon. But
He's had some recent life changes which were fairly dramatic.
no, I mean, so did the original owner of this place before Jason murdered him. It was most unpleasant.
Oh, did you know the owner before the Jason murder?
Oh, indeed. This used to be a vanity project for a collective, a fraternity, you might say, of enthusiasts in different esoteric and arcane texts.
God, you guys, this is the cult house. We can't live in the cult house.
We've got to live in the cult house. Have you seen it, though?
No, he arrived, and eventually the ownership of this place just trickled into the hands of the last descendant of one of the original owners. He tricked her to signing it over to him, and then rather spectacularly destroyed her. It was some kind of like purple lightning bolt, and then she just sort of atomized with this horrible shriek as her constituent elements came apart. It was something to see. So then I served him for several years, and then he disappeared off palling around with himself and a whole bunch of brainwashed kids, and I suppose it falls to you.
I got to learn that purple thing.
No.
Purple. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
The negation bolt. I do believe he wrote the magical formula for it down in
Did you
his
hear that?
third journaled compendium of evocative magic.
He wrote it down.
It's over there.
I mean, I can't do it if you are that much of a killjoy, Edith. You know that. But
Rory, don't manipulate Edith. That's not nice.
fine.
I mean-
I'm just a bit giddy. This is the coolest thing we've gotten in a long time. Not since Tom have we gotten anything this cool.
Aw.
Hi, I'm Tom.
He's Tom. He's regular Tom. He's
He
great.
regards them. Not human,
Nope.
but a what?
Well, at least part of him's human.
I'm based off of a human.
Mm-hmm.
A human was the inspiration, the vessel for. I'm a god thing. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm. He's a bitter god.
He's stuck here because he's in love with Rose.
The glass man nods.
I'm Rose.
As it happens, yes.
Mm-hmm. I
You
like. I
Creature.
like Dick here.
Creature of fairy falls in love with a human girl, decides to embrace humanity. Yes, classic. One of the tales made true. I hope you come to a better ending and he doesn't snap and kill your whole family, ma'am.
Well, he already did that once.
Ooh,
It's better now.
But you're
It's
still
not
together.
better now. It's not better now. We've just had some coffee and kind of a nap.
I give you credit. It takes a lot of work to make relationships function at a high level, especially relationships where family murder has potentially come between the parties.
Okay, it hasn't. He hasn't technically killed our whole family. It's not been him, and
This'll take a while. We'd be happy to tell you the story.
he hasn't even met
sometime.
my parents. So how would Tom know how to kill them? They're not.
There is a
Oh,
there
are
is
you
a
gonna do
volume.
that?
There is a volume.
Eventually.
called- There is a volume over in the self-help section that divvied up the languages of male and female. One of them was placed on the red planet, and the other one was placed on the planet of acid rain. And the book
That book-
purports to tell you how to translate between each other, how your differing sort of cultural idioms can function.
I don't
That
know that
book
Tom knows
has been
for sure.
debunked several times by notable academics. You have been stuck in the light for too long. But I don't suppose you actually could, like, I don't know, have a repository of therapeutic knowledge, because let's be real, all of us need a therapist and none of us are going to be able to ever talk to another human about this.
Every
That's
book
also
that has
very
ever been in this library, I have read and categorized. I have perfect recall of the sum total of knowledge that has been placed here over the centuries.
Well,
Cool.
why don't you place like these for Slugger?
It just gives a thumbs up and collects the books and floats around the shelves, depositing them.
Awesome. Be real careful with that dragon one. We're gonna need it soon.
Which edition of the journal is this?
Which edition of the journal is that?
And he just looks. Oh, this is in the original coded speak.
That was pretty expensive.
Yes, indeed. I do know that various efforts have been made to translate this over the years. None of the translated copies have ever resided in this library as its property, but they have passed through here. I think I can get started potentially on a cipher that might help make this a little bit more reasonable, if that would be to your liking.
Oh, that'd be bloody brilliant, Dick. You are a real lifesaver.
Oh, I get to work again. Yes.
He loves it. He does.
It's been long and lonely.
Guys, we are
Oh.
literally living in the Beauty and the Beast castle. How are you not more excited about this, Edith?
Something's going to blow up. Something's going to blow up or come out and ask for payment or just,
No,
Right.
the gas lines were just serviced 6 months ago. I would imagine that their explosive potential has been minimized by the maintenance. Always a risk, though, of course, with magicians playing around, throwing fireballs. I told him that a natural gas stove, given his predilection for incinerating things, was probably not the greatest idea, but he likes to cook over an open flame. He says it brings him in touch with his primordial ancestors or some such. I'm so glad he's gone.
Me too.
It's a bit
Cooking
of a
over an oven
bloviating
is
jerk.
actually better than cooking on an electric cooktop. Just saying.
Hmm.
I
You have
mean,
agreed with
fire.
my former master, and thus I like you slightly less, but I still like you very much.
Well, Edith, can we keep it?
Well, I don't know why we wouldn't. It's obviously magical Google. Also, I'm coming here every Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30 for therapy. So, yes, we're keeping it.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Now we just need to see if Kat wants to move here.
Yes, I heard you speaking. I'm just from deductive reasoning going to assume that you're speaking of a spirit tied to another piece of property.
She's a real sweetheart.
She's
Whoa.
wonderful.
What tied her there?
Her death,
Her
And then-
horrible murder.
well, her murder, and then also there was a land spirit fae creature that reanimated her soul and
Oh yeah, she was terrifying.
with her.
Sounds dramatic.
In fairness, I don't think Kat's actually tried to leave the house, so
So spirits are typically bound to, well, where they died or where their trauma was greatest until that trauma is resolved. It sounds like you resolved it, but she stayed. So it's quite possible that she's just tied to the lot of you.
Oh my god. We should ask her though, because if she wants to stay at the house, we'll keep the house.
But it does sound viable.
well, I mean, it's not really ours, and we're definitely not getting our deposit back on it. So
Never ever are we gonna see that money again.
You know, the Landlord Tenant's Guide of 2019 contains several tips and tricks for the retrieval of one's security deposit in the event of acts of God. I can pull some relevant selections.
I love you,
Is
Dick.
that money worth it at this point? Maybe we should.
yes,
just let them have it.
Rose.
Okay.
I
That's a
will
lot of
pull
money now.
some relevant selections.
Thomas
I-
is pretty rich.
I am just going to be like running my hands along all of the books and everything, just kind of a bit giddy, and pull the last item out of my bag and be like, you know, for the first time, this bloody thing actually feels a little bit appropriate again.
Costumed accessory. Excellent. The most change I ever got in the old master's wardrobe was when he switched from sweatpants to flannel pajamas with the changing of the seasons.
Oh my god, he was both a narcissist psychopath who was going to end the world, and he was so lame.
Never fully buttoned the flannel pajama top. Had to stare at his admittedly impressive, but I don't swing that way abs all the time. Ugh. Anyway,
You,
we moved on to a new era.
you swing in a certain
I was
way.
gonna say, wait, no, can we circle
swing in
back?
a way.
You swing?
Indeed, I am a spirit
is
of
there like
knowledge, of organization.
Is there a lady mage Google that you're into? Can we help?
Guys, he's in love with intelligence. There's a word for that, but I don't remember it.
Yes, the goddess Athena.
No,
My God, you're in
not
love with
that.
Athena. That's so cute.
Wisdom and knowledge herself on high.
Y'all are
worshipped by
killing
man and
hell.
womankind.
And the word is sapiosexuality, in case you're curious.
That thing. Thank you, Rory.
There's nothing more beautiful or more worthy than sapiosexuality, and I would appreciate it if I would not be so judged, madam.
I'm not judging you. Rose was judging you.
I'm not judging anything. I think you're wonderful.
I'm just really jazzed about this whole thing.
I will pull relevant selections of landlord-tenant law. I will also retrieve Simon & Schuster's property law of 2021.
But we don't need that.
I shall also peruse Jason's journals for more entry-level magical formula and theorems that he concocted to expand your knowledge, as it were. I don't know that I have any of the classic introductory magical texts as The old master eschewed such things. He preferred to work in the theoretical. But there might be something here that a lot of you can work with.
Well, if you can find a 101, I mean, Rose might be able to use
I
a
love that.
bit more of a grounding, but I'm a bit past this point and can go for something a little more hands-on.
Yes. The closest thing I might be able to find would be the old master's early manifesto, for lack of a better word. If I were a book critic, I would regard it as a bit dry, somewhat meandering, and also incredibly self-important. The type of tome written by one who might, to turn a phrase, smell his own flatulence. But it is incredibly informative and has, well, the old master's breakdown of most of the basics of magical theory, and well, he understood it as well as anybody I have ever spoken to or served. So,
I'll give it a go. I mean, I was also going to talk to Beth at the bookstore and see what she thought.
oh yes, all that knowledge or Beth, two equal alternatives.
I just figured Beth's might be a little bit more student level.
The glass man sort of upturns his nose.
No,
Well, once you have been tutored by Madam Beth, you may return to my abode for a sampling of more advanced magics.
I
Bring
didn't
Beth.
mean to offend you.
He's like
I'll
being
bring you a
cheated
gift.
on.
I'll bring you a gift, and she's
Bring
like
Beth.
searching for books on Athena while on
I
her.
find myself very insecure now in my knowledgeity, and now I must ask you to bring Beth by this place at the earliest opportunity so that I may wow her with my effervescent collection of human knowledge.
She would be so impressed.
Nice job, Rose.
I
Bring
didn't
her.
mean to
I
offend
want to
you.
impress this woman I do not know.
We can't just bring Beth here.
But could we bring other people? Like,
There's
You know-
a bedroom. You can bring whoever you want. I would like this place to be filled with people again. It was such an exciting time. The
Like-
railroad had just been invented. Industry was coalescing into a bunch of monopolies that were trampling directly on workers' rights. It was a glorious age for this country. Just not for most of the people in this country, but for the country and like the advancement of knowledge, it was a glorious age.
Well, we really haven't progressed much past that, so
you know, Edith, I understand, Rose and I at least have some things going on, and Tom, obviously, with Rose. I'm just saying that if you brought someone back to a bloody castle, I believe they might be, at the very least, impressed.
Wait, are you wanting to start dating? Because that is awesome.
nobody said that, first of all.
Well, I'm just saying, if you chose,
If you
if
think
you did it.
you think I'm gonna bring a fling back here, no, because that's complicated. We'll go to their place, and then I'll come back here and enjoy my palace. And
Are
never
you bloody kidding? Are you saying you... I'm just saying, if you brought a fling back here, you would absolutely score 10,000%.
Rory?
Feels lovely to be amongst the company of the youth again. So hormonal, so excited, so demonstrative.
I'm just saying, if you want to start dating again, I would be happy to help. You look incredible, and I could do your hair and your makeup, and we could take you on double dates, and it would be so fun.
I have
And
a
if they're rude,
collection
I
of-
could destroy them.
I have a selection of
Exactly.
how-to romance books over in section F, shelf B. I would recommend that you avoid the tomes written by the self-professed alpha males, as they seem to have relatively toxic ideations, but
I'm sorry.
there are some useful texts.
You have a romance section? Like a what kind of romance? Like casual romance, or like my mom would read them?
Well, let's see. I
I
have
think the answer is yes.
period pieces. I have how-to pieces.
Oh
I have how to
my
write romance pieces. I have what has been titled by later vernacular, but is eschewed by the third wave of feminism as bodice busters. I have.
I've been told Outlander's good. Do you
Oh
have
my God.
Outlander?
Ah, yes, the masterwork of Miss Gabaldon. A time-traveling epic of romance where a World War II nurse falls in love with a Scottish Highlander. Yes,
Right.
yes, I have it.
Might
This is
dig in
the greatest
sometime.
day.
I accumulate all knowledge I can, which, since the old master left me unsupervised with his internet connection and his Amazon.com membership, has seen these shelves, well, filled. And now space is sort of at a premium and I can no longer splurge, which,
You got these off of Amazon?
yes, there's a delivery drone who flies over the trees and drops them off. I go collect them, I fill them. Once these were over half empty, but I've had a long 2 years, and all to busy myself doing is spending my old master's money and filling my
Wait,
home.
Oh my
do
God.
you still have access to his Amazon?
He turns around. The
Unlimited
computer
Amazon, and we also-
on the other side of the room boots up. Yes.
Yeah.
I've only received 3 notices of non-payment on the Prime credit card.
Hmm.
I figure there's more fraud we can get away with, compatriots, before my access is shut off.
All right, we got to figure out some really expensive things to buy for like the next 2 weeks.
Why would we do that?
Because he's not even being charged for it.
I swear to goodness.
I, for one, feel good stealing from Jeff Bezos. There.
I have
Why?
Fine.
knowledge from my criminal law research that what we are committing is effectually credit card fraud. But I also have knowledge from my criminal law textbooks that I would be very difficult for mortal authorities to prosecute. So I'm
I
not
was going to say, if you do it, I don't think any of us have done anything wrong. And what are they going to do? Put a light bulb on trial?
That would make a fascinating novel. I shall add it to my list of novel ideas that has now grown well beyond 1 million. I will write them one day, I swear. I just have to get this place organized, cleaned, filled, made ready for some
Sure.
occupants. I'm getting there.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is, I would say, an impressive coda to what has been quite an interesting day with a lot of ups and downs. Is there anything else we should take care of that y'all can think of?
Thomas coughs, and I'd like a minute, real quick, to talk to Edith, if that was okay.
Bloody sure. I'll go hang out in my tower like a proper dragon.
Yeah, I'm just going to
Mr.
read through these books.
Mr. Proper Dragon, would you like instruction on how to work the orrery? It is quite a complicated set of instruments.
What if I fiddle and you tell me if I'm about to break something?
Ooh, how exciting. How risky. Millions of dollars of rare equipment being subjected to the whims of a dragon. Off to the orrery, sir.
To the RA.
He breaks apart into his constituent orbs and floats after you.
Good.
Thomas.
Me and my best
kinda
friend
looks
Dick.
Thomas just kind of looks to pull you to the side. Hey, so listen, I feel like you and I should clear the air a little bit.
We're fine.
Yeah, but it kind of feels weird not to talk about the whole, my God, do I even call him my father? My father kidnapped your sister sort of thing.
Oh, you mean you kidnapped my sister and took her to another country to make her into a child soldier when she was 6?
That's not my memory of what happened.
Okay.
I can see that perspective on it, and I'm not trying to justify what he did. I just feel like maybe the thing that's keeping you from Tess is understanding her and what she went through.
I do not understand what she went through. I know that the instant she came back, I thought I got my best friend back, and then my entire life collapsed.
When Tess first came to the Land of Dreams, it was because she wanted to be there. She left your house searching for adventure, and she found it. And adventure was there to be found. It was subject to her whims. The world itself trains new entrants, especially the human persuasion, to use their imaginations to craft reality itself. And she had adventures. She was Wendy in Neverland. And she learned magic, how to fight, how to explore. She confronted dangers, yes, but she had the time of her life, and Aboleth would have never let her come to harm.
As he understood it, he's not human.
The problem seems to have arose when little Tess wanted to come home. And time passes differently between the two worlds. She thought that she had just gone on a young adventure of a lifetime, like living a fairy tale for a few months. She come home and she was grown. And unfortunately encountered a fetch, and well, you know how that goes.
Yeah. She's missing parts of herself that she should have been able to get.
From growing up ordinarily. But she's not missing them because she's broken. She's just missing them because she missed parts of her childhood with you and with your family. And she's just scared and confused. A child in a very powerful adult's body. But if I had to guess, she's probably gone back to doing what she knows best.
She was always coming up with absurd, crazy, wonderful stories.
She got to live one. And she was happy over there for a time. But then she missed you. And she couldn't figure out a way to call you to join her. So she went back to look for you. And found herself a teenager in a world that had left her behind. It was perspective that I had never had before. I can remember his sadness at her pain, and I can remember his confusion at how giving her what she wanted and giving her the tools to become the hero she dreamt of being had ended up hurting her. Until he was split into pieces, she was the last child he took.
How many human children did he just pluck out of their lives like they were toys?
Hundreds, thousands. Tess was the first one who ever wanted to leave.
Well,
She came from a home who loved her. She had a sister back home who loved her, and she wanted to see you again.
and now she has parents who don't think she's real. And
She's got you.
but she won't come back.
How do you know that?
She hasn't come back.
Yeah. She had a wide world to explore and her place to learn in it. And you had some growing to do too. But now you're both heroes. And you've both lived your fairy stories. And as far as I can tell, have a lot in common. I think we should find her. I think we should try to bring her home. I would like to do that. Because even if the king didn't think he was doing the wrong thing, he was. He didn't understand, and he did harm to you and your family. And I don't think things can ever be right between you and me until I help you fix it.
Thank you.
I'm here. And I remember things about her. I don't know how much that'll help. I don't know what all it can do, but anytime you want to look, you know where to find me. I'll be there and I'll help.
Thank you. That's very appropriate of you.
You know, she slew Jabberwocks and stuff over there, but never saved reality from being torn asunder by a bunch of transdimensional eldritch entities. So,
In fairness, I didn't really do that either. I died before everything happened.
you did everything. Of course you did. You had to. You wouldn't have been able. None of you would have been able to even talk to him had you not.
I get it. I get it. I'm a hero now. I have to. This is my life. I'm already planning. This is where I live now. I'll do lessons with Sparkly Dick and
He's a weirdo, isn't he?
probably some sort of like, I don't know, old-fashioned gym in here where I can learn to fight so that I don't have to just throw rocks at people. And yeah, I don't know. We'll hope that the money that we just keep mysteriously getting just doesn't run out, because I don't actually anticipate being able to get paid for any of this ever. And yeah, we'll just do the, Justice Society thing.
Edith, you're unhappy because you have unfinished business. But you take to this naturally. You protest, but you do the right thing almost every time.
Excuse you. I do the right thing every time because it always works out somehow. Actually, it doesn't. It mostly doesn't work out.
Fair enough. All it's saying is you're good at this and you can help a lot of people. People like your sister.
I know. It's just awful. I just want to have a normal picnic at the zoo.
Who's to say that you can't?
I will bet you $20. We go take a picnic at the zoo. 5 minutes later, some sort of magic crow is going to come down and be like, "Caca! The world is ending over here! The lions are about to eat all of the penguins, which are now magically sprouting death magic."
You sound ridiculous. I'll take that bet. I have $20. Let's do it. All of us.
Fine.
Picnic at the zoo. $20. Nothing paranormal or weird will ruin it.
Rose is just going to bring a bag of gremlins. Like, it's not going to be a normal picnic.
I will make it normal.
Thanks.
We're friends, right? I'm really sorry for everything that happened, but I sure didn't do it on purpose.
I know. You're different. We all change.
I'm trying to be. I don't really understand my role here, but I trust that it's through you guys that I'm going to figure it out.
Well, I figure we all have a new shot, so might as well.
Yeah. Until then, go on picnics, take Rose out for frozen yogurt and to romantic comedy movies. I'll joke with Rory. I'll stay away from Mike's bad side, and I'll punch things that need punching, and we'll work it out from there.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to look for Tess, you let me know, and we'll go look. And when we find her, we'll figure out how to bring her home, because something tells me that's here with you, all of us other weirdos.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I feel better having had this talk.
Go find Rose.
Thank you. I'm going to go do that. I stayed as long as I could. You still kind of terrify me. I'll talk to you when I talk to you again. Bye.
Don't you forget it.
He just sort of very rapidly shuffles out to find Rose. Hi.
Hey,
So, weird couple of days, huh?
some really weird days, but I'm really glad you're here.
I'm sorry for dying. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's okay. We figured it out.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty cool.
Well, I tried.
Um, I'm gonna try my best to be as much like I was as I can be. Um, I'm a whole new person now, though, so I hope that you'll be patient.
Thomas, I like you. Okay?
Hmm.
And I don't think any of us are the same that we were any amount of time ago, whether that's our date or yesterday.
Rory's nice now.
Rari's always been nice. He just liked to hide it before.
Yeah, he used to growl about it a lot.
You got to catch him when he's watching old movies.
I would like to do more of that. It's interesting not having like an existential universe ending crisis hanging over my very existence.
Yeah.
Feeling
I mean, if it helps, you probably are feeling about what Edith and I felt during midterms.
midterms, college. That is a thing I should probably go to, huh?
I mean, it would make college a lot more fun if you were going.
Well, in order to get a real life that has all the things it's supposed to have, I should, huh? I mean, I have a birth certificate, I have a driver's license, I have access to an entity that will probably help me forge whatever paperwork I need.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to go to school, I would certainly be there.
Yeah, you got to finish, huh?
As Edith stated, yes. And I'm pretty sure that if I just vanished forever, my parents might get concerned. So,
Yes, your parents concerned. Well, I'll tell you what, we don't want your parents concerned. So we've got to keep you on track. So I will just have to go down there on Monday and enroll
okay.
in something.
Any idea what you want to be when you grow up?
I was thinking I could start with astronaut and work my way up to god of life, death, and entropy.
I love it. I think that's a great start.
It's a solid career plan.
Definitely.
The dental's pretty crappy, but then I won't have teeth and I'll just exist as one with the universe and space time. So
Uh-huh.
we'll
Well,
give it a shot.
imagine you'll have to take some of the same classes as me, so I can at least help you with the math. I can't really help, but I can sit there and distract people pretty well.
I will take any tutoring and help that you can give me. I just think it would be nice to spend time together where we're not either trying to corral gremlins to save other people's businesses or fighting for our lives against these slobbering servants of evil.
Yeah, I could do with a lot less monster slobber. I think that's something I could handle.
Yeah, I mean, and now we don't have a version of me out there making diseased monster slobber even. That was awful.
The whole thing. But we made it through.
Yeah, we did. We did, and I'm really, really, really proud of you. I'm proud of you all, but you're pretty much the coolest person I know.
I mean, I did promise I would try to be that. So
Yeah.
good to know it's working.
See, the problem is you started with saving the world,
Mm-hmm.
and now there's not a whole lot of places to go from there. You're just going to have to Keep hitting that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
on.
sure I can keep being impressive.
Yeah. Well, you got help.
I'm really glad you came back, Thomas.
Thank you for saving me.
It was a group effort.
Yeah. But it wouldn't have happened if you didn't want to. So thank you for wanting to save me.
Well, thank you for being someone who's amazing and we wanted to save.
I think as long as my number one goal around here is just make sure that I'm worth it, that won't steer me wrong.
I mean, I think you only have to prove it to Edith and maybe Mike, because me and Rory are Team Tom. So
Mike has to believe that everybody has value and is redeemable, so he has to be cool with it. Edith, I'm working on. I think I can make that happen. It's just, there's a lot there, and I did some of it, so I'm going to help make that right. I'm going to do what I can to try to fix what I did to her. What he did to her, what I did to her. It's very confusing.
I'm proud of you for trying. And maybe now that the world is not ending, we could plan a second date.
Oh my God, we've only been on the one, huh?
Just the gremlin one, which was so fun. For real.
It was a very excitable fellow at the Italian restaurant. I often wonder how he's doing. I've tried to stalk him on social media, but I don't still understand how that works and everything.
I can definitely give you lessons in that.
You know what? And he just sort of takes his cell phone out of his pocket. I'm pretty good with this app that sends the cars out to pick you up. And I think if we made our exit right now, this would probably be the best time where no one miss us. What would you say? You, me, a movie, overpriced Italian food?
Absolutely.
He offers his arm.
She takes it 100%. She's so excited.
And they make their exit before the lack of their presence is known. Which takes us to our final scene with Rory in the orrery.
He is going to be looking around and be like, all right, Dick, I'm going to need you to make a list for me.
Okay.
Number 1, massage chair. Number 2,
Sharper Image or Raymond Chandler.
Number 2, jacuzzi.
We have one of those.
Oh, bloody brilliant. All right. Does it have lights?
Indeed. It has lights, has a whirlpool function, has over 120 different jets, including a massage setting. I can't enter it because it would, of course, unmake me to my constituent pieces. But I'm told it's quite relaxing.
Bloody brilliant. We'll work on magical light person jacuzzi problem later. And
you can you can read any one of the 3 hot tub manuals that I have in my library. They're all informative.
And finally, the video game machine where the alien bugs go sideways and get closer to you slowly.
Yes. Space Invaders. Arcade games from the 70s. Yes, we don't have any of those in stock, but we can procure them. Unfortunately, the only video entertainment that we have is the state-of-the-art stuff down in den number 2, attached to the 120-inch television screen.
Do you mind if I hug you?
I'm told that is an acceptable expression of mortal affection, so yes.
I really like you, Dick. You're a good lad. I'm quite a fan of you.
It's nice to be appreciated, sir.
All right.
Oh, okay. So, how this works is, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Yes. So, each different lens focuses on a different aspect of the veil. You have your planar layer, you have your dimensional layer, you have your magical layer, and of course you have your night sky. Now, I'm not terribly familiar with how the math translates between astrophysics and dimensional physics, but you align the instruments to see through the various constituent parts of the horizon, the barrier between realities, and supposedly therein great revelations can be found. I would like to put this to a test, but I don't have eyes, as it were, so I can't look.
It's all right. We can do a little bit of work before we have any more fun tonight.
I recommend, just based on what I've observed from past experience, that you start with a low setting for each of the crystallographs. Just turn a bunch of knobs to 1 and see what you see. And I would instead of pointing it directly at the night sky, I would shift to angle it more at the horizon, maybe see a ley line or catch a burst of magical energy.
As far as layout of the town, are we nearby our Necromancer's HOA? Since we're in the nice part of town?
Nearby, probably not, but like 10 miles-ish, yeah.
I figured that might be a closest place that's a bit of a nexus, so if I can aim the scopes along that line, I'll do so.
You see just like a steady, almost rising as if it's steam off of something hot. Like you see the aura, the field of magical energy coming from where you know her place is, just looking through the magical lens. It's a mighty tool.
Oh my goodness. All right. Great. Yeah. It's working.
You know, it's particularly cool, I'm told, is we're getting right towards sunset. And if you angle your viewing lens over to the horizon as the sun sets, you can see the impact as solar to lunar magic coalesces. I'm told it's quite beautiful.
All right, lad, let's give it a shot then.
He helps you make the adjustment, and you're watching, and it's as if beautiful, resplendent orange and golden energy is careening towards silver and sleek and dark magic, and they're about to unite, and they do, and it crests, and it's like it's an indescribable light show of rainbow colors and bursts of power and magic. It puts the aurora borealis to shame, and right as the display reaches its crescendo, you feel like sort of like a pinprick, like that telltale feeling of that electrical magical current sort of crackling across the edges of your consciousness. And you hear sort of a high-pitched noise, like a high-pitched cry. Gives you goosebumps.
Did you hear that?
No, but you're the one looking through the extrasensory instruments. Maybe you're tuned into something.
I think I might be.
Well, what direction is the sound coming from? We should
start trying to adjust. Would I associate it with any specific type of magic, this feeling I'm getting?
You can't quite like put your finger on it, but it is incredibly familiar, and it kind of makes your stomach go to ice. And you turn the instruments towards it.
There's something going on. Be ready with them dials. I might be able to get a better read in a sec.
You get the sense that there's something of like some burst of power out across the horizon when you get the viewing lens lined up. You can sense it through like the back of your eyelids the second you tell Richard to dial up the sensitivity of the instruments. And as he dials up the sensitivity of his instruments and turns up all of his different spectrums of view, before you on the darkening sky as the sun sets, unfolds a vista. At first, you think it might just be like a solo cloud until you take a closer look and the detail of the instruments turns up the intensity, and you see that it is just pure power, pure, flaming, resplendent power. Its wings unfold, its silhouette opens, and a giant dragon screams its awakening cry across the horizon as a jet of solar primordial fire fills the air like another light show. You can almost hear the joy of people in town celebrating what looks to be the beginning of maybe a meteor shower or possibly some kind of eclipse event. But you have a feeling in your gut. It's an uncomfortable one because you're the only one on Earth who knows exactly what that scream meant. And it is confusion, and it is pain, and it is wrath.
Maybe she's right. Maybe we do all need a bit of therapy.
He adjusts himself, pulls out what looks to be a pair of reading glasses. I will select some texts on therapy, sir.
Oi, maybe, if there are any, on waking up from thousands of years long sleep to find that the world is radically changed and somewhat hostile and filled with tiny worms, which might at one point have killed lots of your friends and now have nuclear armaments. That would be most helpful.
It's an extremely specific question, but I will dig through my stores of knowledge to see if I can answer it. And in the meantime, what is going on with the instruments? And if you look back at them, the lenses are starting to glow as if with heat. And if you look back through them, the aura in the sky, the draconic aura is beginning to fade. But you feel a rumbling almost in your own chest. And then just beneath the edge of your hearing, and only when you're looking through the lenses, you begin to hear more and more of the cries and screams. As you get the sensation deep within yourself, the knowledge that wherever they are, wherever they reside, what's left of your kind, they are indeed waking up.
I will try and find you. I will try and find you, and I will try and make this right.
And that concludes season 1 of Weldport.
It got weird here.
It got weird here.
I'm glad we're starting with dragons. Like, that's great. We just did a demigod. We just gotta handle some dragons. We don't even want to kill them. We just gotta
dragons.
There's a lot of things to start with. There's a lot of things that need handling.
We're probably gonna have to kill some of them. Let's get real. There's gonna be battle lines drawn at some point with these dragons. We're gonna get some nice dragons, though.
But I mean, I don't really want to kill your family. Like, you don't have very many.
I sure don't either.
So, like, that's not our
We
first.
always start with talking.
Yeah, we start
Well-
with talking.
Hmm.
First comes what was the line from the Dark Tower? First comes lies, then something, then gunfire.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
good
everybody for
season.
joining us for our first season. We have our epilogue episode next week, which is a Christmas themed adventure by
Mike Smith.
Mike Smith. Mike Smith.
Mike Smith.
Remember that when making the title for it.
I dig it.
But yes,
And some exciting stuff planned for season 2 that we're excited to get to.
I'm very
if you
excited
guys have
too.
favorite characters that you have become attached to, or like, side quests that we started that we never finished, or anything where you're like, oh my god, what is with whatever the necromancer lady? What is with the HOA that is clearly run by a demon wizard? Let us know. Let us know what you liked, so that we can know as we're planning season 2. You can reach out to us here on Twitch. You can reach out to us on Facebook. Elle and I are on Instagram.
I think we'd notice if you left a YouTube comment.
We're also on YouTube. We are transitioning off of Twitter, so you'll probably find us other places.
Probably for the
And
best.
this season 1 was sort of our experiment with this type of improvisational, like long form storytelling in a TTRPG space, and it went really well. We had a lot of fun, so we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Dope.
Those of you who watch, we sure appreciate you, and we're gonna continue to have fun, and hopefully the audience grows and keeps growing, and even if it doesn't, I'm gonna keep doing this and have fun. So
Yeah.
It's been a great time.
Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays if we don't see you next week.
Indeed.
And Happy New Year.
it was a great
Yeah.
season. Thank you, everybody. Happy
Whatever
holidays.
you're celebrating, enjoy it.
See you later, everybody.
Peace.